Hello. I was just on a walk this morning. This really beautiful Saturday morning that we have here in Chicago now that the weather is cooling off a little bit from the crazy summer and that I am just so enjoying this dry, cool weather. Anyway, on this walk, I had the sweetest little realization that made me want to just jump on and kind of capture some of those thoughts and share them with some of you who are on a similar journey as I am, as I thought that it might give you some maybe guidance and inspiration too. And just so you know, it has to do with how I got my really wounded, sensitive, hurt little girl to feel safe and happy right now. So if you know me or if you've been following me for a while, you might know that I kind of have a history of depression and mental illness, and that kind of culminated 3 years ago in February of 2016 into a full breakdown where I knew that if I didn't make some drastic changes, I was not going to be able to keep living. So, and I knew because I teach about parenting, about how to raise full children, and that I a lot of my work is about healing from trauma. I know what it takes. I just never knew or never felt deserving of turning it towards myself. So that day I realized that I needed to figure out how to turn what I did for my daughters, what I teach in my clean parenting program, what I give the women that I work with. I had to figure out a way to give it to myself, to take all my clean parenting principles and turn them towards me. So, and that journey took 3 years. It took me 3 years, and it was very early 2019 that suddenly I felt like I came out of all the trauma and I was able to start living again and knowing that I was going to live, and that not only I was going to live, but I was going to be happy and I was going to thrive. And one thing that I started doing back then in 2016 is I started talking to the little girl in me, asking her what she needed, listening to her, giving her empathy, figuring out how to start kind of honoring her needs and working towards meeting them. So that's been going on. So for all of those 3 years where I did massive amounts of healing work to clear the trauma and to learn how to live with me instead of what I'd done the previous, I was 47 at that point. So the previous 47 years, which was to try to fix myself into who I thought I needed to be so that I would be loved and so that I would feel like I was deserving of good things to happen to me. So yeah, so for those 3 years, I was talking to my little girl, and then I've continued doing so since then, and just kind of listening to what she has to say, and just really regularly checking in with her to see what's going on. Is there anything that you need? Is there anything that's not working for you? And yeah, so then in January I started feeling better. In about April, I think, is when I started figuring out that I suffered from narcissistic abuse syndrome and started kind of really looking into that and understanding how specifically I had been affected, which was both really hard, but at the same time, it was exhilarating because I finally understood what I had been trying to heal from for the last, I would say, 21 years when I had a massive depression after I had my youngest. I finally understood what the cause of my mental illnesses was, why I kept falling into depression whenever I was feeling good and would take one little thing and boom, I would be gone again. And yeah, so finding out about the narcissistic abuse, like I finally understood what was going on inside of me. And understanding that and having spent decades becoming an expert on emotional healing, then I knew how to heal it once I knew what it was that I was trying to heal. And also through that, I came through Melanie Tanya Evans's amazing NARP program, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program, which I'll put a link to there, and which I use pretty much daily. And it's so effective in just healing any remaining trauma, negative beliefs, any unprocessed emotion, situation, experience, and just clearing the way to anything that we do want in our lives. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing then for the last 4.5 months. And as I've been doing that, my life has just been getting better and better and better. And my life finally feels doable now. And I feel like my needs are met. And I feel like I know that I'm a good person. All these painful voices and beliefs and all the messages that I'd gotten that were literally killing me, I don't buy into them anymore. I know that they're not true, and I keep just doing the work to clear any remnant of it. So through all of that, my life has gotten really beautiful. I've lost 80 pounds since the beginning of the year. I've started swing dancing again, which I really love. I've been really getting in shape. I've been making new friends. I've been having an active social life. I'm starting to really enjoy working again. I met a really sweet man who treats me like I'm the greatest thing to ever walk the face of the earth. And I just feel happy. Like I feel it's quiet in my head. It feels at peace in my body. And I know I still have work to do, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I'll probably be doing it my whole life. But really, life feels doable, and living inside of me feels good. And I love my life. I cannot believe how delicious my life is, to the point that I was freaking out a little bit last week because I thought, is it really possible that life can just keep getting better and that so many of my needs can be met? It feels, but I do believe that it is, because once we clear all the trauma inside of us, once we live fully embodied who we essentially are, once we know who we are, and we set boundaries, and we know our worth, and we value ourselves enough to live in a way that really works for us, especially for those of us who are highly sensitive, where it's a lot more work and it's a lot more attunement to figure out how to live in a way that's sustainable for us and that our nervous system can handle and can relax in. So anyway, that's a little bit of what's been going on for me the last 3.5 years, but really almost like 51 years. And so this morning I'm walking and life just feels so magical to me today. And I thought, well, let me check with my little girl to see how she's doing. I feel like I haven't done much of that recently because I've just been busy living, busy enjoying my life. And it's like I saw her kind of like curled up, like in the corner of a comfy couch, or curled up like in the arms of, I don't know, a mother or a partner that someone would feel really, really safe in and completely like just relaxed. And the message that I got from her is that she finally doesn't need anything anymore. That she doesn't feel unsafe anymore. That life finally feels doable for her, where she can relax. And that this life that I've created for her, for us, in the last few months is providing what she needs so that she can fully heal and recover. And so her nervous system, our nervous system too, can finally fully heal from this lifetime of trauma and of trying to work or to live in a way that wasn't working for us, and to trying to be somebody that we were not. And I guess I wanted to share it because it feels so significant for me to have finally reached that goal of providing for her a life where she just feels safe and she can relax and she can heal. And the other piece to that that's so significant for me is that, like, I'm somebody who I'm so full of life and I have so many ideas and there's so much that I want to do. But since I've been 10 years old, this wounded part of me keeps hijacking my life with these deep, dark depressions that take me out from living for weeks, months, and even years at a time, and that have interfered with my ability to live, with my ability to work, with my ability to even enjoy my life with my children when they were growing up, because the majority of the time I was dealing with all this mental illness. So, yeah, it's amazing to know that this part of me finally feels safe and can fully heal. It feels amazing that I have figured out how to create a life and relationships that work for me, where I can really thrive. And it feels amazing to think that I've finally given that part of me what she needed so that I'm finally going to be able to live, because I'm not going to keep getting my life hijacked by this part of me that was so wounded and for whom life was so not working that it was just not sustainable. So anyway, I hope that you find something helpful or inspirational in this little snippet of my life that I shared with you. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day like I know I will be having. Bye-bye.